Hello everybody, video here for today. There's a ranch in northern Utah that's considered to be the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing occurrences on Earth. Bizarre UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. The federal government investigated for 2 decades, but their findings have never been made public. Now a new team of independent scientists and researchers are uncovering proof of the claims and will stop at nothing to reveal the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. This is the No Cap recap of the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Season 6, Episode 8, called Swarm Weather, originally aired July 22nd, 2025. For more Skinwalker Ranch recaps, there's a playlist link in the upper right. At the Mesa drill site, borehole number 2 is at 188 feet into the mesa. Dr. Taylor reminds us that when borehole number 1 got to 200 feet in, he detected several signals at different frequencies. Eric's Kraken antenna array showed some of those signals coming from the mesa itself. Once the second borehole is completed and coated with cement gels so that it doesn't collapse, the team will put various scientific instruments into them to try to learn more about the 200-foot-long object and many smaller objects around it that are buried in the mesa. One of the drillers tells Thomas that the beacon, which is a device inside the drill bit that lets the drillers know where they are so that they can drill accurately in an arc without seeing where the drill bit is, as shown on the previous graphic. And that is at 25% remaining battery after 2 hours, which should be more like 80%. Batteries in cell phones and many other types of equipment have had similar issues on the ranch many times. The 188 feet spoils from the borehole are dumped into a screen so that an archaeologist can check them for anything of interest. He spots more of the green jelly that the team found both last year in borehole number 1 and the previous week in borehole number 2. When the jelly was analyzed last year, it was found to contain charred plant material, indicating that an explosion or fire happened inside the mesa. He also finds a chunk of gypsum with a bunch of layered rust on it, indicating fusion with something metal, perhaps the large object in the mesa. At that moment, the team picks up signals on both the 1.2 and 1.6 gigahertz frequencies. 1.6 has been used by someone or something frequently on the ranch and is supposed to be reserved by the U.S. military for communicating with satellites and spacecraft in orbit. But the 1.2 gigahertz frequency was used back at the team only after Eric broadcast it on the season 6 premiere episode 7 weeks prior to use as a baseline and to see what would happen. What happened is that during that particular experiment and each one after that, it's like the signal was copied and broadcast back at the team. Perhaps a greeting of some type. When the team got close to the 200-foot mark in borehole number 1, as they are now in borehole number 2, the beacon frequency started spreading out. The cows in a nearby field got spooked by something, and one cow got a huge dose of radiation somehow and was removed from the ranch to heal. Now the cows again get spooked, and the south tower is picking up a radiation spike, indicated by the blue line in the upper right. If that weren't enough strangeness, really strong winds start gusting right then and blow over a monitor. Dr. Taylor decides to break the equipment down so that it does not get damaged. You cannot see the team's shirts flapping in the wind in the still image, but they were in the video. The next day, Sky Elements returns to the ranch with their drone army to help continue the investigation into the bubble. A partially underground, visible only by LiDAR, 2,000-foot diameter anomaly that centers on the triangle and also contains part of the Mesa, Homestead 2, and other locations where strange things occur over and over again. Dr. Taylor says that they want to try to determine whether the bubble is causing things to happen inside and outside of it, or if multiple things are the cause. Sky Elements will launch 2 swarms of 100 drones each, one at the triangle inside the bubble and one in the east field outside of the bubble. They will form columns as shown in this graphic. The drones are armed with pyrotechnics, and the idea is that the fireworks will fill the air with smoke, hopefully confirming the dimensions of the bubble. After that is done, rockets will be launched up through each drone swarm column at the same time. Each location will have its own base station and connection to a satellite, which is how the drone's flight patterns syncs up perfectly. At this point, we should really expect the ranch to wreak havoc with everything. Above the triangle, GPS devices are often interfered with, showing an odd flight pattern despite the crafts or drones flying in a straight line. Along with high-speed cameras and spectrum analyzers, the team will also use handheld and terrestrial LiDAR devices to capture anything of interest. Thomas says that the drilling into the mesa will be continuing during the experiment, so that could be causing strange things to happen as well. The drones have their own built-in GPS, of course, but Eric had the great idea of attaching an independent GPS tracker to one of the Eastfield drones. This yields immediate results as the GPS tracker reports rising approximately 800 feet while it's still on the ground. Dr. Taylor points out that it's outside of the bubble in the east field, not inside the bubble. Again, even before anything is launched, Preston Ward of Sky Elements notices that the base station in the triangle is briefly losing connection with the satellite every 5 seconds, but not even numbers like 0, then 5 seconds, then 10 seconds. Instead, it's 1, 6, 11, and so on. He checks the East Field base station and finds the same symptom, except it's 2 seconds later. So 3, 8, 13, and so on. The connection is back before the next second ticks. Preston relays that development to the team. Again, before anything is launched, a 1.2 gigahertz signal starts, and Dr. Taylor says not for the first time, it looks a lot like a communication signal. They rotate the Kraken antenna and find that it picks up the signal strongest when it's pointed at the end point on the mesa. It's called that because 2 years prior, the team recorded a video that showed a UAP flying into the mesa at that spot and then out of the mesa near the triangle before disappearing. Still before anything is launched, the drillers let the team know that they are seeing this UAP above the mesa. Dr. Taylor says, "We do have something that has made a turn. It's not a satellite or an airplane." Then it vanishes. It is usual for UAPs above the ranch to not be visible for long. Everyone is ready to go, so they begin the experiment. The drones are launched and appear to be flying the exact pattern that they are supposed to be. Both swarms successfully form perfect columns. The last time Sky Elements provided their services, GPS was interfered with almost immediately and the patterns were not followed. Also, the pyrotechnics work perfectly as well. Dr. Taylor counts down for the rocket launches. Thomas launches the one inside the bubble at the triangle up through the drone swarm column with no issues. Dr. Taylor's rocket in the east field did not launch. He explains that it is not getting power. They use batteries to launch rockets, and Dr. Taylor suspects that the battery is dead. He drives his truck over quickly and attempts to use that battery, but still no launch. He later says he had tested the rocket launcher before the experiment and had no issues. Dr. Taylor wonders why everything was fine inside the bubble, but he had issues outside of it. The drones continued their programmed show and all ended safely exactly where they were supposed to. They repeat the same experiment right away, but again, Dr. Taylor's rocket fails to launch. He checks everything, tries it again, and this time it does launch. And it starts pouring rain. Dr. Taylor later says that he's not ready to go there about the weather on the ranch, but it seemed like a definite sign to end the experiment. 2 days later, the team gathers for the post-mortem on the experiment. First, they talk about the base stations losing connection with the GPS satellite every 5 seconds, but 2 seconds apart. It was at this point that I thought they should do the same experiment, but with both swarms inside the bubble. I even went way outside the box and wondered if the timing somehow helped the drones be in sync. At this point, hardly anything can be ruled out. Dr. Taylor later wonders if something in the bubble or something in the east field was causing it, or maybe both. Sky Elements reports that they lost signal a few times, but only for a half second. Pete Kelsey's LiDAR scanner captured this at the triangle, something Dr. Taylor said they had never seen previously. No one offers a guess as to what the blue is. Eric has one frame of a time-lapse video that shows this UAP traveling extremely fast in the direction it is pointing, up and to the left. Dr. Taylor says it appears to be a craft going hypersonic, traveling several thousand miles per hour. The team will continue to investigate the bubble and the east field to see how the two locations are related, if at all. In the outro, Eric wonders if they have inadvertently activated something on the ranch. Ranch owner Brendan Fugel says that they continue to prove that there is more to our reality than meets the eye, and that their investigation of Skinwalker Ranch is the most important scientific endeavor of our time. I'll continue recapping Season 6 this summer and possibly early fall, depending upon how many episodes there are, as well as retro recaps of Seasons 2 through 4 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. I'll also be finishing up retro no-cap recaps of the second half of The Curse of Oak Island, Season 8. All of the other seasons and episodes are already done and they're in that Oak Island playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.